we had this big bus that we were selling food at festivals out of, selling frozen pies and whatnot. But one morning, there was some sausages left over for breakfast. I thought, you know, I'm not fucking chucking these, man. I'm going to make a stew. And I was like, I really want to do something with this, so, you know, that's what I did. So. People said the stew was mint when I was using ropey veg. Now I'm using the best veg you can buy, and they still say it's mint. I've worked closely with a good friend of mine, TJ Dolan, a local artist. He's done me a little logo, which has a wonderful sense of mystery to the whole thing. I think some people thought I wouldn't be able to do it, but look at us now, man. Look at us now.
I made the film, all the filming and editing and directing and that. The film La Cocina del Fuego, the story behind that stew, which is Dave. He's
I'm just in the film. Pretty much, yeah.
So, La Cocina del Fuego, where did it come from? What is it? Everything else in between. By the way, before I start, absolutely great film as well.
Nice one. There's a bunch of people who call me Fuego, and me and some mates, it mentions it in the film that we had a festival catering business last year, which ended in a ball of flames when a truck ran it off the road coming back from Knockengorrick Festival, Scotland. So I developed this stew while we were out doing the festivals, and you know, even in the blazing hot Scottish sun, people were loving it. So I just decided I was going to keep making stew and perfecting it, and I make stew, you know, I'm making stew in the morning, I make stew all the time. So we made a little film about it.
Well, basically, it looks like a lot of days filming. Kind of when did you start it, and I guess kind of how time-consuming was it?
Well, it took probably a couple of months, didn't it? It's quite a lot that didn't go into it as well. We were filming, I mean, because we know each other pretty well, so spending a lot of time together wasn't a problem. Even a bit frustrating. How long it did end up taking, it was, you know, I just filmed everything really. Yeah. So when the edit was quite challenging.
What did you edit it yourself as well?
Yeah, I did everything. Yeah, and then the soundtrack is my dad, Ivy Perry. Who's at the back there, who's formerly of Easter House. I don't know if anyone knows the Manchester music history at all, but and yeah, that did that bit. But
well, kind of, I guess, like regarding the film itself, was there any specific purpose for it in the sense of you want to screen it and put it into places like Kino and such film festivals, or was it something you kind of said, let's just do it because it's going to be fun, we're going to get something out of it at the end of it as well?
Well, it started off doing a music video, and then it just sort of came to pass that it was quite interesting, sort of the trials and tribulations of La Cocina seemed to be a story worth telling really, and that, you know, became apparent pretty early on. So we thought we'd try and get that across, wasn't it?
I mean, I wanted him to make a film about me, which he certainly succeeded in doing. But it's kind of a, you know, because it's not. It treads a fine line, but it's not just a work. It's not a work of fiction. It's a true thing, and there is a stew. And for me, the idea being that I wanted to have this as kind of a promotional tool, and you know, yeah, it treads a fine line, but I like that about it. And you know, I wanted him to leave in the shots of me blowing my nose and whatever else. You know, it's important to me that people understand, you know, what goes on behind the glamour of sausage stew.
Did you bring any stew with you?
No, it was an oversight that. No, yeah, we were all a bit last minute. We should have done Sampo at least for a sort of multi-sensory experience next time.
It must have felt like a bit of a celebrity with the kind of knocking around for like a month or so.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it really. You know, I can.
No nerves whatsoever.
I can live with it, man. You know,
time adjusting, it was just there's a camera, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say anything more to that.
Our roles often became blurred because I'd help cook a lot of the time, so I'd miss critical shots. If he was behind, I'd have to go and cook like the sausages for the stew, and if a gaffer they couldn't film, so we'd have like massive black holes all the time where we'd do pickups continually for him, sending me off to like buy brandy at Levenshulme Market and that. Yeah, so it was a labour of love.
Great. Well, yeah. Is there any questions from the floor regarding the film itself? Yep.
Why does the chef call himself Fuego, and then if you have a vegetarian stew as well? Because Chorlton seems to be a vegetarian market.
I've tried to entertain the vegetarians a little bit after an angry man at Levenshulme was, blaming the sausages for the destruction of the rainforest. I've tried, but it's not for me to deal with. Vegetarians like to cook for themselves. I think a lot of them. I'm not going to generalise, but I think a lot of people anyway can be quite mistrustful of food that they get from places, and I think vegetarians like to cook their own food a lot of the time. They don't want to buy it in the street off some guy who's banging out sausages. And Fuego, I don't know, they just call me that sometimes. For no particular reason.
I don't even know why.
He doesn't even know why.
It's one of those childhood things, I guess.
No, it's been approved 2 years.
Approved now.
He already was approved.
What's it, approved or what's it?
Someone like me with myself.
I'm allowed to sell food. There was some ambiguous rules to do with the EU that the environmental health woman was mistaken about. That side of the story is slightly hammed up in the film. It wasn't as much of a death blow as it seemed at the time. Although I did go underground to sell stew.
Well, do you want to? Are you thinking of maybe making this film into like a trilogy or something? Keep on following the arts, following the story.
I want it to just be like an ongoing thing. Alex doesn't really get that keen because he's got other things in his life to do. Apart from that, sit looking at my face while he's editing tediously.
Maybe like a serialised version, short clips, like a video blog type thing. Maybe that. I don't think I could commit to that again.
You've definitely got
anyway.
Yeah, you've definitely got the comedy elements. Anyway, so you could easily do like a web series at least, which will kind of maybe go down quite well. So that would work.
Have you thought about doing anything else apart from stew?
Sometimes, but I've done various markets and that. And to be honest, while some things sometimes sell, like at Christmas, for example, I did great with everything.
Yeah.
Since then, I've found that doing markets is pretty risky, and to be honest, the time it takes you to, you're spending a full day cooking, you're turning up, if you don't sell everything, you're going home out of pocket. So, I've got a place that I supply that you see in the film there with my stew all the time. If people want the stew, they can get it there. Other than that, I'm quite busy with whatever else to be thinking about knocking up different dishes. Although I'm considering doing like a kind of a hot dog type thing with the stew for the summer.
What plans for the future have you got for stew? Do you think you're taking it to like schools or hospitals or?
It'd be really nice to get to find some places that would take it all the time off me. So at the moment I've got one bar and they've been selling it for nearly a year all the time, and it's got a really good reputation. So there's no reason I don't think I can get other places doing that. I'd like to, but I don't want to take it too big. It's kind of not for me. It's not. The stew's just like one. It's the stew, but it could just as easily be anything. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That sounds like an help.
Any more questions from the floor? Yep.
It's not so much a question, but I genuinely thought it was so well made. It was just so well shot and well edited. I thought it was brilliant. It just kind of didn't really lose pace at any point. Like as you said, that it's actual events. It's your story, but it kind of had this really brilliant mockumentary feel to it as well.
Okay.
Which, and as in terms of comedy, so it's not a complicated story. It's a story about a stew, and you and how you kind of worked with it. Yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was really great.
It was nice to get the film on here as a kind of showing it to the outside world, because
so far it's really just been,
People who know us.
yeah, you know.
Is it online?
It's
Yeah.
up on Vimeo, yeah.
Get out of
I
that.
missed it, you see, I want to see it now.
Oh man, if you go to La Cocina del Fuego on Facebook, then you'll find a link on there pretty quickly.
Alex, very good.